Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Sarah, and in this episode you are going to catch my reaction to a Gen Zer's reaction to her supervisor because she does not want her face to be shown through the video call for a team meeting. Here we go.
You haven't turned your camera on yet. If you could do that, then we can get started.
No thank you.
Well, I have my camera on, so let's go ahead and get yours on too.
And respectfully, as I just stated, my camera will remain off.
Well, we can't proceed unless you put your camera on.
And I seem to be a little bit confused of the effectiveness of this meeting. Is it actually dependent whether you can see me on camera or not? Because if I remember correctly, on our initial onboarding meeting, I recorded the information provided in the CraftNote app, and it clearly stated that cameras were optional and there was no expectation or pressure to turn them on. So if you're this strict about it, maybe you shouldn't have put it in our onboarding meeting, right?
Let's just move on.
Okay.
What did you think of this video clip of our young superstar Gen Zer? Okay, now most of you know by now, most of the videos I do is focus on workplace behavior and beyond. As you know, I'm an industrial organizational psychologist, so workplace behavior is my niche, okay, but not my only niche. My first reaction with our young superstar who can read policies and procedures and who can stand her ground is, my first reaction was, wow, is this what Gen Zers are doing? I mean, okay, yes, it's optional for your face to be shown on camera or not. Yes, stand on that. But the tone, superstar, young superstar, the tone was just, it was unprofessional. Because best believe, okay, if it was her supervisor acting that way, she would not like that tone. But I have to hold space for, I don't know how that supervisor has been treating her prior to this moment. Because when you see these kind of tones and attitudes, something has happened prior, or for this young lady, this supervisor is reminding her of a workplace trauma she's had before. Or, so like I also deal with in my counseling sessions, sometimes a supervisor can a tense or toxic supervisor. I'm not saying this particular supervisor was toxic, but a supervisor can remind you of some toxicities from authority figures in your childhood, and it can cause you to trigger. Yes, right? Let me know in the comment section if you ever had a supervisor that reminds you of your caregiver, your parent, and it triggers some kind of childhood trauma. Or if you had a supervisor that triggered the trauma from your past. Yeah, these are the kind of things I deal with in my counseling sessions with my clients. So yeah, I have to hold space for the fact that there's a reason why she's so tense like that, because ordinarily she could have just responded with something like, I'm just not in the best space right now, Susie. Maybe, I'm just giving a name to her supervisor. I'm just not in a good space, right, Susie? Do you mind if just for today, I'm not going to be on camera? All right. And if it was just a one-on-one conversation, she can go a little bit deep and say, I'm having a bad day. I just can't, show my face right now. I just don't want to affect the rest of the team. And I'm sure that female supervisor, if approached with that emotional intelligence and gentleness, I'm sure she could tap into that human need and say, okay, sure, for this meeting, we'll let it go. But she didn't. She held her ground because of the policies. So quite frankly, yeah, it's the organization. I mean, you made it optional, which is good. Agility is important, some flexibility is important. But this young Gen Z was like, no, I'm gonna hold on to that with a lot of tension there. So, my gut feeling is that she doesn't like her job, or maybe she didn't like her job that day. I don't know. But if I could speak to her, one of the things I would say to her, I'd be like, listen, young superstar, that's not the way. If you want to make it in the work world, and it could be a jungle out there with various generations that you're going to deal with, all right, Gen Zer, you have really got to find another way. You've got to use wisdom, acquire it, all right? You've got to know how to speak to people, because what you sow is going to come right back at you. And you're not going to get very far if you are deemed as a tough person to deal with, right? You know, your reputation is everything in the workplace. You know, even the Bible says, you know, a great name is everything. It will get you far. And you want to be liked. I'm not talking about people pleasing, but you want to be liked, you want to be respectable. And especially Gen Zs, they're always trying to get up the career ladder. Why would they ever think to allow you to be a good shepherd, you know, a leader over other people, if that's your attitude, man? That's not the way. That's not the way. There are bad days, okay? And like I said, Gen Zer, or any Gen Zer out there that you have this trouble of getting on the video conference and showing your face because you just don't feel like pretending to be something or liking the team, just say, you know, to your boss, today I can't do it, Susie. Or I can't do it, Patrick. Today I just can't do it. I'm in a really bad space. Do you mind if you just give me this day? Okay. There's ways to get your way without the presence and the use of aggression of any kind or tension of any kind. Your words, the delivery of your words is important. Tone is important. And this is why I'm a big advocate of staycations, all right? Those of you that are burned out, all right, for, like I said, emotional labor, having to culture fit, but you don't really like your workplace, you don't like some of your people, you don't like your boss maybe, or you know your boss don't like you. This is why staycations are important. Weekends, things happen. Take off a Monday, take off a Wednesday, take half day off and rest. Rest your mind. Get a book about emotional intelligence and read and practice. Watch some videos about that. Okay? You don't always have to use your vacation time for real vacations. You could just use it for rest. Mental health is important. And you need to be on your game in the workplace. Now, going to the supervisor, my initial reaction was, listen, she did the best that she could. I'm going to call her Susie. Susie did the best that she could in that moment. I didn't sense that she was in this space of trying to go back and forth with her direct report. She requested it, and the direct report was rebellious, in my opinion. Said no, all right? Yes, she stood on business in terms of the policies, but my take is, and I've been a supervisor many times, is that I believe that Susie, I'm using Susie as the name for the supervisor, having your face shown on a team meeting call is, or even a one-on-one, if she requests that as your supervisor, try to think the positive side. She just wants to create this, you know, create this atmosphere that you're actually in person, that bonding. Because when you're seeing each other face to face, you see each other's body language, you can read each other better, you know, you can make statements that are in alignment with the person you're seeing in front of you, right? And not making some misjudgments because you really don't see their face, you don't see their mannerisms, you know, to get some extra information about what's really going on in that person. So I don't think the supervisor in this particular instance was trying to be annoying, okay? I just think, again, you have to think like a supervisor. And this young superstar was not thinking like a supervisor. She's still young, okay? I'm just gonna give that. But if you're a supervisor, generally supervisors want cohesion in their teams. They want some level of bonding, especially if they want to get things done. They want to create that group, that camaraderie, right? So I don't think that supervisor was in the wrong to ask this. Again, the policy says optional. And if your supervisor is requesting that, or somebody in authority is requesting that, and you want to be successful in that workplace, open that camera. Open the camera. The backlash later on is not worth it. Open the camera. I think the supervisor did a good job in terms of just shutting down the conversation and moving on from when she realized, this direct report was not budging. I think she did a good job to hold her peace. I mean, what are you going to do when she says the policies, right? What are you going to do? But like I said, if it's your supervisor or somebody in authority asking for that, and you want to go a long way in the workplace, put on that camera, please. One day you may become a supervisor. And how would you respond? Now, I would also give a tip to the supervisor moving forward. Supervisors out there, if you've come across something like this, moving forward, give a heads up to your team that in a specific meeting, staff meeting you're going to have, you require all cameras on, so that everybody is just prepared. Everybody's just prepared, mentally, emotionally, whatever they need to do to prepare to get on the camera. Just give them a heads up, even if it's a day before. All right, 2 days best. Just let everybody know in this particular meeting, all cameras on. Okay, very simple, very simple. And if there's a pushback, then that's a conversation that the supervisors truly needs to have with that direct report, because there is an issue way beyond video camera. Okay, there's an issue way beyond not wanting to be on camera. There's a deeper issue there. And if a supervisor wants to be successful with her team, he or she needs to ask questions and do not make any assumptions about your team members. Ask the question. Ask, how are they doing? Ask, why do they not want to be on the camera? Let them know you care, and let them know you can listen, and let them know that you can accommodate, but also let them know that if you let them always get away with it, then everybody else will. So there has to be some balance there, right? Anyway, that's all I have on this. Gen Zers, I mean, wow, yeah, you can read your policies, but be flexible too. Be agile too when your leaders are asking you to do something, okay? All right, guys, let me know what you thought about this video, the clip, what I've said. Let me know if you do or say something different in the comment section. If you enjoyed what you heard, give me a thumbs up. It's an easy way to support this channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, get subscribed. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.